Imagine you are pouring out your heart to God in prayer, and your spiritual leader comes up to you and accuses you of being drunk. That is exactly what happened to Hannah in 1 Samuel chapter 1. Eli, the priest, saw her lips moving without sound, and he drew a conclusion. She must be drunk. We all naturally draw conclusions like this. All day long, we are interpreting other people's behaviors. This is normal. But instead of checking his assumption and asking Hannah what she was doing, he immediately said, "How long are you going to stay drunk? Put away your wine." Ouch. The first words out of Eli's mouth were accusatory, commanding, and a reprimand. Hi, I'm Dr. Jolene Kinzer, and I'm glad you're here. In Chapter 5 of Changing Normal, we look at Hannah as a model of self-advocacy when facing inaccurate assumptions from someone in power. Hannah could have taken offense. She could have lashed out or shut down. Instead, even as a marginalized woman speaking to a person in power, she chose a response that was sincere, respectful, and non-defensive. She said, "Not so, my lord. I am a woman who is deeply troubled. I have not been drinking wine or beer. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Do not take your servant for a wicked woman. I have been praying here out of my great anguish and grief." And because Hannah spoke up, Eli changed his response and blessed her. Hannah gives us a positive example of self-advocacy when facing misunderstanding or accusation from someone above us. And I want to make an important side note. I'm assuming that Eli had not previously abused Hannah or made her feel unsafe. I don't advise a person to have this kind of conversation under those circumstances. If you find yourself misunderstood by someone of higher status, we can try to follow Hannah's lead to be sincere, non-defensive, and respectful, to be honest about our emotions. Now, in this situation, I'm not referring to the emotions that you feel in response to what the other person says. Rather, I'm talking about the emotions connected to your behavior that was misunderstood. She explained that she was deeply troubled and experiencing anguish and grief. We want to clarify and explain our behavior without attacking the other person, and then make a request for them to see you differently. When encountering misunderstanding and injustice, sometimes we need to courageously advocate for ourselves, like Hannah. I have an interactive workshop on this topic that I love to conduct. We not only look at Hannah's response, but also dive into how we can behave differently when we are in Eli's shoes. Most of us find ourselves in Eli's shoes as a parent or a leader at some time or another. So when you observe behavior in someone that you interpret as wrong, sinful, bad, disobedient, or even lazy, what typically are the first words out of your mouth? Well, our first words following our observations of our child, our spouse, or our parents' behavior are often similar to Eli's. They're accusatory or commanding or reprimanding. We can respond differently. In Chapter 5 and in the workshop, I share 7 practical action steps that we can take instead of following our initial impulse that will lay a foundation of trust and safety, making an honest conversation possible, or more likely possible. Have you ever had a Hannah and Eli moment? How did you handle it? Sometimes these moments are exacerbated by our cultural differences, which is where we're headed in our next video. I'll see you then.